Hi everyone, welcome to Colette's Thermy Kitchen. My name is Colette Matriga. I'm a Thermomix consultant in Australia, and of course if you are thinking of getting a TM6 in your kitchen, please reach out. I'd love to look after you. And remember, we have a great offer with that bowl blading lid which finishes this evening midnight, so you still have time to get that great bowl blading lid with your Thermomix.
Is that midnight perf time?
Yes, yeah.
So that's probably how far perf about 3
2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, plenty of time. Sometime this evening, give me a call. All right. Now what we're making today is we are going to be making stuffing balls, and these are basically served in our house at Christmas time. I usually put them out on our platter when we watch The Grinch with our other lovely bits and pieces that people can pick at Christmas Eve, and they are always a winner. Everyone loves them. So what I'm going to do, I found a recipe on cookidoo which is kind of similar to what I do. So I thought we would actually do that, and I'll just point out those few changes. And the recipe is actually called chestnut and cranberry stuffing. So chestnut and cranberry stuffing, I'll put a link in the post for you. And that's the one we're going to follow. So I've started this recipe already.
So why is it called stuffing? You think stuffing would be something you put into a turkey?
I guess so, yeah. It's not really stuffed into anything, is it?
This is finger food.
I know, but I guess it's the same concept, but it's not stuffed into a bird. Anyhow, who knows? Basically what I've done is let's just start recipe. So just remember, with your wonderful Thermomix, you can scroll down. I love the big screen on the TM6. It tells you exactly. So these take 10 minutes. They're ready in an hour and a half. And then you've got your ingredient list. You've got a list of what you need to do. Steps, full nutritional content. So if you're on a low carb diet, I probably wouldn't be eating too many of these.
Well,
but that's mainly the chestnuts that are in there, which I'm not using today. Hints and tips, which are really great.
So this is a fully guided cookie dough recipe?
It is, and it makes it so easy for anyone to make.
So you're not pimping it up with the...
I'm doing my own version of this. So this was actually similar to what I do, so I'll show you what I do as we go along. All right, so when I hit start cooking, actually I won't hit start cooking. What I'm going to do is just show everybody down here, Andrew. We'll lean over again. You're quite far away today. So what I've done is I have placed the bowl on the lid, and I have got some cranberries that I have macerated in port. Now, Andrew tells me you can't get...
Very hard to get ruby port in Australia.
Which is what the recipe calls for. So I've just used tawny. I've always used tawny, and it's beautiful. And I wouldn't miss this step. This is what kind of makes it kind of festive, and it's so lovely. Plumps up those cranberries, and it's a beautiful addition in terms of flavour with these balls. And just while we talk about cranberries, if you're in Australia, I've got to say, shout out to these ones. I don't normally shout out a particular brand, but I absolutely love these ones over any of the others. They are so moist and plump, and you will actually, so they're just dried cranberries, but they're so much more juicier, and you'll end up snacking on them. I absolutely love them, really, really nice. So I've done that step, and then what it asked me to do in the Thermomix bowl, the second step was to pop in there some onion and some garlic and some butter, and then the Thermomix chopped that up, and then the Thermomix sauteed that for 5 minutes at 120 degrees at speed 0.5. So I love the fact, imagine if you were doing that in the kitchen without a Thermomix. The chopping board would be out, the pot would be out, you know, you'd have so many gadgets and things out already, so the mess would start. But of course, so far, everything's been done in this one bowl. Now, it's important then, I'm now at that step, so I've done that, and they have sauteed. So whenever you're in a recipe, if you've done the first part and you want to go exactly to the space that you want, just find it in the recipe and basically hit the step that you want to actually start. So I'm going to hit number 4, because I've done all the previous ones. And see, now it takes me immediately back into where I need to be, placing the mixing bowl back into position. So, having a look at what I've done, those are my sauteed onions and garlic, and they are sauteed in butter. more flavour. It's going to be even more delicious. So I like that. So they are in there. So if we hit next, the next thing it's telling us to do is to add in some sausage meat. So 450 grams of sausage meat, and you'll probably get about 30, 35, 40 little balls from this portion, believe it or not. So remember, the quality of these balls, the taste of these balls are primarily going to be based on your sausage meat. So these were beautiful Irish sausages, which I think were the best. I love Irish sausages, that we got at a lovely butcher's. And I've taken the skins off, and that's what I'm going to be using today. You love these, don't you?
They're super. I mean, even though I only got a very little bit, so she could spare me. They're superb sausages. I'm very critical of sausages. You know, you never buy those, you know, $8 chipolados ones from Woolies, because it's steamed off the bone junk. That's what you're getting here. But those
really
are
nice
superb,
quality. But you know, look for a good quality pork sausage, you know, Cumberland or something along those lines. If you've got a sausage that you enjoy, just go for that. Use that one. All right. So sausage meat's gone in.
So what's the meat in the sausage meat?
Pork.
Oh, pork.
Pork sausage meat.
Okay,
right. Yeah, rather, so it's a pork base. So Cumberland sausages are pork based. The Irish sausages, these ones are pork
Could you use
based.
chicken sausage or beef sausage?
But you're going to alter the flavour and taste of these. And I think pork is what it's about for me. But, you know, everyone's different. All right, so now into here I'm going to add in some breadcrumbs. So please remember, Thermomix is great at doing breadcrumbs. If you go in your TM6 to the chop mode, and under other you'll see breadcrumbs, so you can throw in your old bread and make your own. And I'm actually just adding these ones in, so 140 grams roughly, that's fine, of breadcrumbs.
So Joy Tobin says, sorry I'm late. So Joy, you need to write out 100 times, I will not be late in the future.
Okay, now it's asking us for 140 grams of chestnuts, roughly chopped and peeled. I find chestnuts quite hard to find, and they're not, I like them, but I like other things in here rather than the chestnuts. So what I'm going to add is I've got basically half a Granny Smith apple. I love the sweetness this comes, and I've just chopped them by hand actually up finely. Of course you could put them in the Thermomix, go into turbo and get it to chop it for you. But I'm just going to add these in for crunch and sweetness, and they are beautiful in this mix. And you know, pork and apples complement each other so beautifully. So, and now we're going to put in there some herbs. So it's asking for parsley and thyme. For me, sausage stuffing has got to have sage in it. So I've got a tablespoon of finely chopped parsley, a tablespoon of finely chopped thyme. Of course, you can do this in advance in the Thermomix. So they're just going in.
All from your herb garden?
All from my herb garden. And now it says a teaspoon of salt. You need to be really generous with the salt, okay? It's an important thing here. So put more in than what you actually think. And I'm also going to put in my white pepper. You know I love my white pepper. Use black if that's what you want. I'll put a bit more salt in there as well. All right, salt and pepper's gone in. Now it's asking us for some ground nutmeg. So you might have the powdered nutmeg. I always have the little hard nutmeg. I don't know what they're called, seeds. The ground nutmeg will last you a year. These little guys will last you 5 years. So much cheaper to go this way. And just with a little microplane, you're just going to pop in as much or as little as you want.
Oh, can you do that? Look at that, resting it on the... You naughty girl.
It's okay, it wasn't too bad. Alright, so the nutmeg has gone in.
Well, you tell me you can't even break an egg on there, and there you are, rattling around with a...
Well, it was resting, it wasn't cracking down. Alright, okay. So adding in an egg, so let's just add in the egg.
So Colette's motto, do as I say, not as I do.
I know, I'm a bit slapdash, aren't I? And then we are going to place in the macerated cranberries. So they have been sitting in that for probably about 3 hours.
Sitting in the port.
In the port. So how gorgeous is that going to be? And the other thing, so that's basically all that's asking you for. But the other thing I can't resist putting into there, and it makes a difference. some caramelized onions. So you can make your own in the Thermomix, but I have to say, I am a huge fan of these. I'm not getting paid by any of these to say it, but I think these are fabulous.
So the ones you made earlier, did it have those in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So what I love to do is just put in a nice heaped tablespoon of this stuff.
So Colette caught one of our neighbours who was actually in Woolies at the time because she ran out, and
I ran out.
he popped this round about 20 minutes ago.
So thank you, John. Absolutely, to the rescue. Such great neighbours, such great neighbours. All right, so that's all done, and that's all my fillings. So, you know, you can put in there what you want. So sometimes what I would do is I would, when I saute the onions, I would actually pop in there some bacon. But yesterday, Andrew and I had a Caesar salad, so there's no bacon in the house.
It was lovely.
And you enjoyed that very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. That's all there. And then the next thing I need to do is tell you to pop the lid on. This comes on, and we're going to basically just mix that together just for 25 seconds. So you can then carry on with the recipe, but basically what it tells you to do then is to make your meatballs. So just look how beautifully that's mixed up, and you've got those lovely green apple bits of skin and the red from the cranberries. It's just very festive looking. So let's just digress a little bit. So we have this mix. Now it is really important, and I highly suggest everyone does this, just take a little bit and just make a small little ball or patty and just fry that off in a little bit of butter and taste it. Taste to make sure it is seasoned enough for you. And if that's the case, then what you can do is you can then start to make your balls. So again, I've just got a slightly bigger size than the one we used the other night with the truffle maker. And I will just scoop this out and just pop them down, and then I will shape them into a ball. If your hands get sticky, just a little bit of wet hands, and that will make it easier. And then what I choose to do, again, you can actually then pop these into the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, 190 degrees, and cook them that way. What I like to do though, after all it is Christmas, is I like to fry them off for about, probably about 5-10 minutes in a medium-high pan with butter and oil. So about a tablespoon of oil and a good big dollop of butter. Knob of butter. And I like to get them really nice and brown, so that usually about 5-7 minutes. And then I'll put them into the hot oven for about 15 to 20 minutes to finish off cooking. Yes, of course, you can actually turn this into a loaf tin and make a loaf slice. You could use this to actually stuff your bird as well if you wanted. So you've got a number of options with this.
You can make sausage rolls out of this.
You could do, yeah, absolutely. It's a lovely kind of mix that you've got there. So what I like to do, let me just show you some that I've made earlier. I'll bring them over, Andrew.
Can't make superb sausage rolls. You're going to have to do those for Christmas. The boys will devour them. So
here we go. These are these beautiful balls. And then what we actually do is I take them out and they're on the table for everyone to join. And I've got to tell you, they're delicious. So this is half a portion, and I cooked these earlier on. And just, you know, this is the cranberry rosemary sauce that is on cookidoo, which is absolutely delicious. And a little bit of mustard if someone likes it a little bit less sweet. And then you basically just dive in and devour them. Andy, what would you like, cranberry or mustard?
Mustard.
A little bit of mustard on your half. And they're lovely and they're moist, but they're so tasty. You've got the sweetness of the apples. You've got the little taste of the alcohol.
More mustard, please.
Okay, I'm going to double dip. It's okay, it's just us. So actually that was a Dijonnaise. It wasn't a mustard. It was a mustard and mayonnaise combination, and I'm going to go for the cranberries. But they're so delicious. Now what I will do with this batch here, we'll probably nibble on these. The next batch, I will make the balls. I'll do my tester, taste it, adjust the seasoning, then fry off the rest of the balls, pop them in the oven, cook them, cool them down, and then I'm going to put them in the freezer. And they freeze quite happily, and then I will take them out and just refresh them in the oven 190 degrees for about 5 minutes or so once they've defrosted, and then they will be ready to serve up on Christmas Eve. And the wonderful thing is they're in the freezer. I don't have to cook or make these during that really crazy busy seasoning. So if you've been following me, as you probably know, the freezer is stocking up with all these things for Christmas, but what it does by cooking now is it's going to make Christmas much more pleasurable for us.
What could you use instead of apples, someone asks?
Raisins. How good are they? Don't they? Beautiful.
Yep.
Try it with a bit of cranberry, much sweeter.
Okay.
So different flavour profiles. So there you go. So you play back and you can check out my differences in flavour. You like it with cranberry too?
I do. Very nice.
But another great Christmas thing for you to have that my family enjoy every Christmas time. So thank you for tuning in tonight. As I said, my name is Colette Matriga. Let me know if you want one of these guys in your kitchen. They're pretty amazing. And we will see you probably next. Actually, no, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be popping on in the next few days, probably later on tonight, tomorrow. And you can look at that back in your feed because I need to make up another loaf of bread. So I'll show you how I do that. All right. Enjoy, everybody. Have a beautiful evening. Speak to you later. Say goodbye, Andrew.
Goodbye, Andrew.
And then have another one. Do you want to share half?
Go on then.
Or you want a whole one? What would you like?
The mustardy stuff.
The mustardy, the Dijonnaise for Andrew.
I need more than that. Use a spoon. That's what you got spoons there.
I know. And I am going to try this piece with the Dijonnaise as well. Oh, yum.
Yeah, so good. What's really good about them is just this sort of diversity of textures and flavours. You know, there's like no sort of. I asked Colette earlier on, did you put tomato ketchup in there? Because I think I insulted her with that, but
I make my own tomato ketchup. That's all right.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everyone.